do yourself a favor and hush. Learn how to say less because the moment you start explaining, you done already told on yourself. And today, we're eliminating people who talk themselves out of being chosen. Way too many of y'all talk yourself out of something good every single day. Previously on Go Deeper Please, we eliminated the belief that intention outranks perception. We learned that what is given matters more than what you meant. Pretty will get you on the show. Liking gets you past that first round though. But today, today, we are eliminating what quietly ruins both. And that is over explaining. Welcome to Go Deeper Please, where we push past surface level information to give business frameworks wrapped in relationship truths. This is a place where we stop auditioning for understanding and we start building authority that does not need to be defended. I'm Marquita. Most of y'all know me as Keita from Beneficial Bay, and I'm your hostess with the mostest. Today, we are talking about why saying less is often the most powerful thing you can do. So, it's time to go deeper. But first, we need to start on the surface level and understand the who and what of what's going on around here. So if you ever watched Real Chance of Love, you saw this play out every season. The contestants who talked the most did not last. And it wasn't because they weren't interesting. It wasn't because they didn't have personality, but it was because they were trying hard, way too hard, to control how they were being perceived. They explained their intentions, they justified their behaviors, they filled the silence. And instead of grounded and feeling good, that experience began to feel so heavy. That's how a business works too, y'all. So let's go a little deeper, please. Because now it's time to go into how it's not that deep. This is where most people mess up. They get to over-explaining, thinking that over-explaining is about communication. And it ain't. Over-explaining happens in very specific moments. When the energy shifts and you can feel that tension. When somebody gets quiet and you rush to fill that space. When you sense hesitation and you start clarifying things that nobody even asked about. If we don't text back fast enough, and then you hit us with a double text. When you feel misunderstood and you trying to fix it in real time. That's where people go wrong. Not at the pitch, not at the offer, not even at the brand. So it's not like when you asked me out. It's not when you asked to take me on a date. It's not when you showed up looking good. It was at the moment you felt exposed. And instead of saying grounded, you start narrating. You talk too much. You text too fast. You call and blow us up. You don't give the moment a minute. Here's some common places over-explaining shows up. In business, it sounds like, I just want to explain where I'm coming from. Or, what's another one y'all say all the time? I know this might not make sense yet, but what I'm trying to do is, or let me clarify real quick. Let me just clarify because this is gonna be good. Or I just don't want you to think nobody asked you none of that. Hush. And in dating, it sounds like I just don't want you to misunderstand me. Or man, that's not even what I meant. So let me just repeat myself. Or, my personal pet peeve. I'm not like that. I promise. Because all I'm thinking is you can't get like that. Because that's not clarity. That's your anxiety talking. But let's go deeper, please. let's dive into why this happens. Over explaining is a nervous system response. And y'all are over explaining because your body doesn't trust the structure that you built. So silence starts to feel unsafe. Stillness starts to feel like a loss. Uncertainty feels threatening. And you just talk. Not to inform, but to try to regulate yourself. And the problem with that is your anxiety becomes the loudest thing in the room. So even if your words are smart, your energy says, I don't trust this yet. And nobody relaxes into a decision around someone who is not regulated. Here's why the body reacts this way. I did some research because I really needed to figure this out. When somebody over explains, the nervous system hears instability, lack of containment, emotional labor coming, and all the rest of these things, right? So even if your offer is good, or even if you're good, you're talented, what the body is saying is that this feels like too much work. They got a lot going on. And then we all start to quietly disengage or fall back from you. Because we can't decide if you're talking so much because you're trying to convince us or yourself. We just know we stopped listening after a while. So let's go deeper, please, because we got to get fully immersed. This is my favorite part, and this is the say less framework. Because saying less ain't about being quiet. It's about being contained. And most people think that power comes from control. But control is loud. Containment is calm. Containment is what lets you stay steady, even when you don't know the outcome yet. That's why saying less works so well. Because it signals trust in the structure. So let's break this down. I want to say this slowly because I need you to get your notebook or your notepad, your notes app if you got it, and write these 4 levels down. Because most people don't even make it past level 1. And I need to get you all the way to the advanced level of 4. Level 1, the statement. A statement is clean. It does not ask for permission. It does not apologize. It does not contextualize. It does not anticipate misunderstandings. It stands on it. In dating, a statement sounds like, this is what I'm available for. Not, I hope you don't think this is weird, but in business, a statement sounds like, this right here is how this works. Not, let me explain why we do our things this way over here. Statements don't negotiate their own legitimacy. They assume it. And everybody else who hears them understands that because they feel it. Here is the part people miss. A statement is only powerful if you believe it's enough. If you don't trust your statement, you'll immediately start explaining. And the moment you start to explain, you undo the statement entirely. Level 2 of the Say Less framework is the pause. This is where most of y'all fall apart. Because silence, for whatever reason, feels like danger to y'all. Especially because y'all have an unregulated nervous system. So when you say something clean and then you pause, your body wants to rescue the moment. You feel that weird urge to clarify, to kind of soften and say that a little bit different so it can be palatable. You want to make sure you didn't say it the wrong way. And that urge ain't intuition. That urge is anxiety. And when you speak from that place, your energy changes. So even if your words are fine, Your tone gives it away. You sound nervous or anxious or scared. Silence is not absence. Silence is pressure. Silence gives the other person room to respond honestly, not politely, not performatively, honestly. And honesty is the data that you actually need. On dating shows, the people who couldn't tolerate silence always talked themselves out of it. They started to reveal their insecurity. They revealed their neediness. They revealed their instability. And the same thing is happening in business. Silence show you who's leaning in and who's looking for reassurance. Level 3 of the Say Less framework is the response, not the reaction. Response. Reactions are immediate. Response is measured. Reaction comes from the body trying to regulate. Response comes from the body being regulated. So when you say less, you create the necessary space between the stimulus and the response. And in that space, you can actually see what's happening. You can hear the hesitation. You can feel the misalignment. You can notice confusion without rushing to fix it. Most people don't want the data. They want certainty. So they talk and talk and talk some more. But certainty don't come from talking. It comes from observing. Here's the hard truth. If saying less makes that situation fall apart, it was already shaky and unstable. You ain't break it. You literally just exposed it. Level 4. That is the hold. And this one is advanced. Because holding, HOLDING, is when you don't move, even when the outcome is unclear. You don't follow up too fast. You don't check the temperature. And you don't check reassurance. You let the structure you built do its job. Holding is how authority tests alignment without saying a word. And if somebody needs you to collapse your posture in order to stay, they were never aligned in the first place. Hear me good, because this is where most people get real uncomfortable. Holding requires trust. Trust that, 1, the right people won't need convincing. Trust that the right opportunities won't require chasing. Trust that the right fit won't punish you for being still. And trust is what most people don't have yet. So they keep explaining. Here is the difference between people who get chosen and people who get tried. Chosen people trust their positioning. Tried people keep proving. Chosen people let the silence work. Tried people try to fill that silence. Chosen responds to people. Tried people react. So let me hold your hand while I say this, friend. If your words need rescuing, then your positioning is weak. And the solution is not more words. The solution is better containment. This is why saying less works. Not because it's a tactic, but simply because it forces your nervous system to mature. And a lot of y'all got to grow up emotionally. You need to stop trying to manage perception and start allowing selection. And that shift right there will change everything, business and personal. So now we're at the point of no return. We done came so far out into the deep that once you realize every extra explanation is teaching people how to treat you, you stop doing it. You stop narrating. You stop softening. You for sure stop auditioning. Because from this point forward, you either trust the structure or you keep talking yourself out of position. Period. Explanation is not clarity. Containment is. So, it's time for that elimination round we talked about. Let's be honest. Somebody went home today, and today, what got eliminated was the belief that talking more makes you safer. On Real Chance of Love, this is when they said, your chance is up, ladies. Keep it real. Shout out to VH1, man. They had us in the chokehold back in the day. In business, that sounds like this feels like too much work. And I think I'm going to pass or at least fall back for a little bit. And that's not because it actually is, but it's because you made it that way. Before I let you go, you don't need better words. You need better restraint. And when you learn to say less, you create room for the right person to lean in. Next episode, y'all, we're talking about hesitation. Because if they wanted to, they would. Continue to go deeper with me. Tomorrow, 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come through. I'll be here. Bye.